This is turning a page in the history of Britain. Prince Philip was a truly remarkable public servant, a role that was very awkward for him. He would have been a dynamic naval officer, and the ceremony that you saw today, the send-off, which he oversaw himself, was primarily military. There were a variety of military links, including a rather intriguing touch of a Land Rover, which he specially adapted himself. This was very much him, but there's no question that our thoughts go out to the Queen and to the royal family. It's the passing of somebody who became legendary in so many ways. He was a colourful figure and quite often argumentative, but there's absolutely no doubt that there were two things that meant so much to him: to support the Queen, and he didn't find it easy to walk two steps behind her. He wished a naval career, but there's no doubt whatsoever that this, when her reign is assessed, he will be seen as her rock, and also to support the monarchy. And the monarchy enjoys good support in Britain at the moment, but his drive, his almost superhuman energy, is an absolutely fascinating, and I hope that the debates and the tributes and the obituaries over the last week have introduced a new generation to his amazing qualities. I think that everyone who saw that would have been very, very deeply touched. She has lost her strength and stay for 73 years, and unquestionably she is someone of great religious faith, and we must trust that that will buoy her up, so to speak, because she knows that she has a tremendous amount of emotional support from Britain, the Commonwealth, the wider world. Tributes to Prince Philip have poured in. Even so, a truly sad day for her and for the royal family. There's no doubt whatever that we had all so hoped that Prince Philip would reach his centenary. He had an amazing career. One of the points I would make is that he did so much in so many ways. During the war, a very distinguished naval career, and he would have continued it, but the king's ill health meant that, well, the Queen ascended the throne after George VI died at 56, which was very young, and subsequently he was attached to over 800 organizations and institutions. He was a dynamic sportsman. I mean, even there was a rather charming touch in the Windsor Castle, the quadrangle. There was a horse and carriage, because carriage driving was a sport he more or less put on the map, not to mention polo, and not to mention his period where he was able to be a pilot too. So you wonder how on earth, with all this energy, he was sustained, I think, by a spiritual faith. I think he was sustained by his deep commitment to the monarchy, but also I think that the relationship between him and the Queen, I think that this will go down in history as one of the great royal love stories. When she met him in 1939 at Dartmouth Naval College just before war broke out, she had eyes for no one else. There is a tremendous recognition that he will, for example, be remembered for his award scheme. He founded that in the 1950s. There's no constitutionally defined role of Prince Consort in Britain, and in point of fact, what actually happened was that although Prince Albert in the 19th century had one, he had to create his own. 130 countries have benefited from his award scheme. He was a pioneer of environmentalism long before it was fashionable, and long even before the Prince of Wales, so to speak, inherited this passion for wildlife conservation, also of outward bound activities, tremendously individualistic, fascinated by engineering and technology, always someone who loved the sporting life, but with a little-known artistic side. He was keen on design, and also he painted and was a keen photographer. So there were so many aspects. You could say it was Shakespeare's comment that the elements so mixed in him that nature would indeed stand up and say, this was a man might have applied to this truly amazing, this great Britain.
Thank you.